In the heart of Scotland, nestled among the untamed Highlands, lay the ruins of Dunharrow Keep, a relic of the past shrouded in mystery and folklore. It was here that Ainsley MacCormack, a renowned historian with a penchant for the arcane, found herself standing at the precipice of discovery and legend. With her was a small, eclectic team comprised of scholars, a local guide named Ewan, and a few intrepid adventurers, each drawn by the allure of unraveling the secrets of the past. The air was thick with mist as the group made their way through the dense foliage that cloaked the entrance to what was locally known as the Whispering Vault. Legends told of a chamber hidden beneath the ancient stones of Dunharrow Keep, a place where the veil between thought and reality was thin, where desires could be whispered into the ether and made manifest. But such gifts came at a dire cost, the erosion of one's very soul, stripped away by unseen forces that feasted on human emotion. Ainsley, with her fiery red hair cascading over her shoulders and a look of determination in her emerald eyes, led the procession. Her heart raced with anticipation, her mind a whirlwind of possibilities. What secrets did the Whispering Vault hold? Could this be the key to understanding the mystical practices of ancient Scottish clans? Or was it merely a folktale, born from the whispers of the wind through the ruins? The entrance to the vault was cleverly disguised, hidden by centuries of overgrowth and the cunning of those who wished its secrets to remain buried. It was Ewan, with his intimate knowledge of the land and its stories, who discerned the subtle markers that led to the vault, a series of ancient runes carved into the stones, almost erased by time, but still visible to those who knew where to look. With a mixture of reverence and trepidation, the team cleared the entrance, revealing a stairway that spiraled down into the darkness. Ainsley felt a chill run down her spine, not from the cold, but from the realization that they were about to step into a world untouched by time, a place that had existed only in the margins of history books and hushed tales. The descent was arduous, the steps worn by the passage of countless feet over millennia. Torches in hand, they descended deeper into the earth, the air growing cooler and the silence more profound with each step. The walls of the passage were adorned with intricate carvings, depicting scenes of ancient rituals and celestial alignments, hinting at the chamber's significance to those who had built it. Finally, the stairway opened into a vast circular chamber, its ceiling lost to the shadows above. In the center of the room stood a stone pedestal, ancient and unadorned, save for a single carved indent at its peak, a receptacle for secrets, for desires whispered in the dark. Ainsley approached the pedestal, her team gathered around her, each person caught in a web of awe and uncertainty. She knew the stories, the warnings, but the pull of discovery, the thirst for knowledge, was too strong. With a deep breath, she leaned forward and whispered her desire into the stone. The chamber stirred, a low hum vibrating through the air, as if the very stones were awakening from a long slumber. A faint light emanated from the pedestal, casting an ethereal glow across the chamber. But as the light grew, so too did a sense of unease among the team. Ainsley felt a coldness seeping into her bones, a void where her excitement once thrived. She turned to her companions, their faces pale, their eyes wide with the realization of what they had unleashed. For in their quest for answers, they had opened a door to the unknown, to a force that demanded a heavy toll. The chamber, with its power to bring desires to life, also hungered for the very essence of their being, their emotions, their souls. As the light from the pedestal faded, leaving them in the oppressive darkness of the chamber, Ainsley and her team stood on the threshold of a journey that would test the limits of their courage and their will to survive. What had begun as an expedition to uncover the mysteries of the past had become a battle for their very selves, in the heart of the Whispering Vault. And so, the story of Ainsley MacCormack and the secrets of Dunharrow Keep began. A tale of ambition, desire, and the haunting price of seeking the echoes of the heart. The chamber, bathed in an otherworldly glow, awaited the whispers of the heart. Ainsley MacCormack, with her companions by her side, stepped forward into the unknown. The air around them hummed with a power ancient and profound, as if the very earth acknowledged the gravity of their desires. Each member of the expedition, including Ainsley, felt the pull of the chamber, a siren call to the soul, promising the fulfillment of their deepest yearnings. Ewan, the stalwart guide whose ancestors had tread these lands since time immemorial, was the first to succumb to the temptation. With a voice barely above a whisper, he articulated his desire, a longing for the land to heal from the scars of the past, for the Highlands to once again flourish. As his words dissipated into the ether, a gentle wind stirred in the chamber, carrying with it the scent of heather and pine, a promise of renewal. Marjorie, a linguist whose life's work was to unravel the mysteries of ancient Celtic languages, stepped forth. Her desire was for understanding, to bridge the chasm of time with her voice. No sooner had she spoken than the chamber echoed with whispers in a tongue lost to history, the sounds weaving around her in a symphony of knowledge. One by one, the others followed, each voicing their deepest wishes into the void. Fionn, the young historian, sought insight into the lives of those who had built this place. His wish was met with visions of the past, fleeting glimpses of ancient rites and faces long forgotten. Declan, the skeptic, asked for proof of the supernatural, a sign that there was more to the world than what science could explain. In response, the chamber pulsed with energy, the air crackling with unseen forces. As the final wish was whispered, a profound silence enveloped the group. The chamber, having absorbed their desires, began to manifest their requests in ways both subtle and profound. The air shimmered with potential, and for a moment, each member of the expedition felt a connection to something greater than themselves, a thread linking them to the ancient world. But as the initial awe faded, a creeping sense of unease took its place. Ainsley, observing her companions, noticed the first signs of change. The light in their eyes dimmed, not from the lack of torchlight, but from something intangible being siphoned away. Their expressions, once animated by the thrill of discovery, now bore the mask of detachment. The chamber had granted their wishes, but at a cost that was slowly revealing itself. The chamber, with its ancient stone and air thick with power, seemed to close around Ainsley MacCormack and her team as they each voiced their deepest wishes into its embrace. The ethereal glow that had illuminated the space with their aspirations began to dim, replaced by a creeping shadow that gnawed at the edges of their consciousness. It was a shadow not of darkness, but of loss, a draining away of the vibrance within their souls. Ewan, whose heart had always been anchored to the rugged beauty of the Scottish Highlands, found his connection to the land waning. Where once there was a deep-seated joy at the sight of dawn's light cresting over the peaks, now there was a hollow emptiness. The prosperity he had wished for his homeland felt like a distant echo, a reminder of what had been sacrificed at the altar of desire. Marjorie, wrapped in the voices of the past, felt her own voice begin to falter. The ancient languages she had yearned to unlock now wound around her like chains, a burden rather than a gift. The knowledge she had sought came at the cost of her own words, leaving her isolated in a sea of voices with no shore in sight. Declan, who had sought proof of the unseen, found himself haunted not by spirits, but by the absence of wonder. The world, once ripe with mysteries to be solved, now lay before him, flat and unyielding. The magic he had hoped to find had instead been leached from his view, leaving a landscape bereft of color and life. Ainsley, watching the light fade from the eyes of her companions, felt the weight of their collective loss. The chamber, for all its promise, had fed upon their desires, leaving them emptied of the very things that had driven them to seek it out. The realization struck her with a clarity as sharp as the cold air above the keep. They were losing themselves to the whispering vault. With a resolve forged in the depths of her being, Ainsley knew they must act, and swiftly, to reclaim what was theirs. "This place," she began, her voice steady despite the tumult within, "demands a balance. We've given our desires freely, but now we must take back what has been taken from us." The chamber, as if responding to her declaration, pulsed with a subdued light, the walls themselves whispering of ancient rites and forgotten pacts. There, inscribed upon the stone, was the key to their salvation. A ritual of rebirth and reclamation. A path back from the void. To restore what we have lost, we must each offer a part of ourselves, Ainsley continued, her eyes locked on the inscriptions. Not our desires, but our fears, our regrets. We must fill the chamber with the parts of our souls we hide from the world. One by one, they stepped forward. Ewan, releasing his fear of the land's decline. Marjorie, her regret at the voices lost to time. Declan, his dread of a world explained away. Each confession, each release of their darkest selves, fed into the chamber's hunger, a counterbalance to the desires they had spoken. As the last word was uttered, a profound stillness settled over the group. The chamber's glow returned, warmer now, less ethereal, but more alive. They could feel the parts of themselves they thought lost beginning to weave back into their spirits, stitched together by the very fabric of the chamber's magic. But the equilibrium came at a cost. The fears and regrets they had offered were now part of the chamber, echoes in the stone that would whisper to those who came after. And in their hearts, a new understanding took root, the knowledge that desire and sacrifice were two halves of the same coin, forever bound in the dance of life. Emerging from the depths of the Whispering Vault, Ainsley MacCormack and her companions were met with the first light of dawn, its rays casting long shadows across the ruins of Dunharrow Keep. The air, crisp and clear, seemed to breathe life into their weary souls, but the journey through the darkness had irrevocably changed them. They carried with them not just the fulfillment of their desires, but the weight of their sacrifices. The balance had been restored, yet the echoes of their experience lingered, a reminder of the delicate tether between joy and despair. In the days that followed, the group found themselves adrift in a world that seemed both familiar and strange. Ewan, his connection to the land now intertwined with a tapestry of fears and regrets, saw the Highlands with new eyes. The prosperity he had wished for his homeland was taking root, the valleys blooming with life once thought lost to time. Yet, the beauty was tinged with a melancholy understanding of the price paid, a silent pact between him and the earth he loved. Marjorie, her mind a repository of ancient voices, found solace in the whispers of the past. The knowledge she had craved now flowed through her, a river of lost languages and forgotten stories. But it was a solace shadowed by the memory of her own voice, offered up in exchange. She dedicated herself to the preservation of these voices, ensuring that the sacrifices made within the chamber would echo through the ages, a legacy of wisdom and warning. Declan, haunted by the absence of wonder, discovered a newfound appreciation for the mysteries that remained. The world, once dimmed by his encounter with the unseen, gradually revealed its colors once more. He pursued the unknown with a reverence born of loss, a seeker of truths tempered by the knowledge of their cost. And Ainsley, the architect of their redemption, bore the mantle of leadership with a quiet grace. The memories of the chamber, of the choices made within its stone embrace, had faded like a dream upon waking. Yet, the bond forged with her companions, the shared ordeal of their journey, was indelible. She found purpose in the preservation of their story, a warning to those who would seek the chamber's power without heed to its demands. Together, they returned to the world of academia and exploration, their discoveries within the Whispering Vault igniting a fervor among their peers. But they spoke little of the true nature of their experience, the lessons learned not from the ancient stones, but from the depths of their own hearts. As the seasons turned, the legend of the Whispering Vault grew. Adventurers and scholars, drawn by the tale of desires made manifest, sought the ruins of Dunharrow Keep. But they found only stones silent and inscrutable, the chamber's entrance lost once more to time, and the wilds of the Highlands. For Ainsley and her companions, the journey to the Whispering Vault became a reflection, a moment suspended between what was wished for and what was found. They walked the line between light and shadow, their lives a testament to the enduring dance of desire and sacrifice. In the end, the echo chamber served as a mirror to their souls, a crucible that revealed the true measure of their spirits. They had sought the fulfillment of their deepest wishes, but found instead a deeper understanding of themselves and the connections that bound them. As they gathered one final time at the edge of Dunharrow Keep, the ruins bathed in the golden light of sunset, they knew that the echoes of their journey would resonate through their lives forever, not as a haunting refrain of loss, but as a harmonious chord of wisdom, courage, and the unbreakable bonds of friendship. And so, the tale of Ainsley MacCormack and her companions concluded not with an end, but with a beginning. A new chapter in their lives, written not in the whispers of the chamber, but in the choices made in its aftermath, a melody composed of echoes and reflections, played out in the infinite symphony of existence.